plasma products found at keshfoundation.org/store. Soothing, reusable plasma eye and migraine mask. Eliminate eye fatigue and relieve stress in eye area. European certified medical device. Massaging plasma insoles. Bring comfort back to your feet and energize your legs. European CE certified medical device. Antiseptic plasma liquid hand soap. Promotes well-being and relaxation with protective plasma formula. CE certified. One Soul Plasma T-shirt. GAN's formula within the symbols and stripes brings mind, soul, and body into balance. European certified. Pain Relief Pen. Emits a concentrated plasma field at point of pain, efficient up to 3 centimeters below the skin. CE certified. The Magrav's Energizer and Alkalizer raises pH and energizes water through magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Pain Relief Pad, a result of years of research in nanoplasma technology with magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Visit the online store at keshfoundation.org/store or find a distributor near you. Tax and shipping not included.
Welcome, everyone, to the Kesh Foundation Spaceship Institute 32nd Public Testimonial Meeting, where we share your plasma experiences in all languages. This is Monday, July 8th, 2019, and I'm your host, Flint Mulhausen, along with Rick Crammond and Danny Moe. Hey there, Rick.
Yes, hi, Flint. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's show.
Yes, another month has gone by, and we have July now. Half the year is gone. But
yes,
we should.
In another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, they'll be the end of this semester for the private teaching as well.
That's right. We'll go on break for about 7 weeks and start up in the middle of September. So for today, we have Frederic here, starting us off. Hello, Frederic.
Yes.
Before we begin, can we check with Hadil to see if the video is working? Yes, we hear you. Hi, Frederic. Can you hear us?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you ask Hadil if his video is working okay now?
Adil, est-ce que ta vidéo fonctionne correctement maintenant? You know, I don't see him in the panelists.
We will have to allow him to talk in order for that. There, he can talk now. Hello? He says we. Okay, it's all clear. Thank you. Let's begin.
With what do you want to start? With Adil or with my presentation?
No, Hadil's fine. He just had a video problem initially, but it's clear, so it's okay now. So you can go ahead.
Okay. So I'm starting?
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody. So today I'm going to share with you some experimentations we have done in France. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, just go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you. The document is in French, but I will translate for you. I will start to show you a presentation. So
can you zoom in on that at all?
This an experiment on I am on my phone, my iPhone. Is it better for you?
Much better now, thank you.
Oh, great. So on this first pic, you can see a tank filled with some rainwater, and the rainwater was smelling very, very bad, you know, and there was a lot of insects, mosquitoes and others, and the water was dark, and there were a lot of particles. So we put some gases, gas water, and a few particles of gas in this bottle. In the bottle, there's some CO2, ZNO, and CO. And we just let the bottle in the tank, and then we covered the tank because usually it's covered. And then 3 weeks later, I'll show you how is the water. See, the water was very clear. There were no more bad smell. And you know, when you see the water, you want to swim in it because it's very clear and it doesn't have any smell. And at the bottom of the tank, you can see some particles. So that was the first experiment. The girl was called Mary, and this is a rainwater tank. So it was a success, you know. Now this swimming pool is the swimming pool from the first Oasis tour. We have set up in a lot. The lot is the name of the place, and the town is called Trespour-à-Ciel. So on this pic, you can see the 8th of June. We took off the blanket, you know, on the swimming pool, because the swimming pool was covered for the winter. So we took off the blankets, and the water was green. It was not clear. There were a lot of dead leaf on the bottom, at the bottom. And you have to know this swimming pool is treated with some salt water and some active oxygen, which was and chlor. When you put some active oxygen and some salt, it creates chlor. So you have to check the level to see if there's too many or not. If there's too many, it is because there is too much salt, and if there's not enough, it is because there's not enough salt. We added some gas, so system works differently. When you add the gas, you don't have to add some salt, you know, to have some chlorine in the swimming pool, because the disinfection is done with the CEO. So Fabienne, the owner, has added active oxygen doses, but she didn't do the, how do you call it, attends, c'est le traitement choc. The treatment you do first is a shock treatment, you know, a very big one with a lot of chemical stuff. In France, we call it traitement choc. And she didn't do it. She just put some active oxygen, normal doses, like if the swimming pool was already running on. And we clean up the bottom. Please tell me if you don't understand. I will try to say it differently.
Was the green in that picture algae?
Yeah. And the leaf on the bottom were dead, you know, and it started to decompose themselves. So it was like some soil. on the bottom. And yes, there was some
Are you still there, Frederic?
I think we lost your phone connection there.
sure.
Oh, you're back again. We missed what you said in the last few sentences there, Frederic.
Oh, I was lost. Okay, so I will start again. I was telling you that there's some different containers. In these containers, you can see some GANS water and some GANSes at the bottom. They were put in the swimming pool. And you see it's not full because you need to let some air in the container so it is not sinking. It's staying at the top of the water. And with a piece of string, we tie them at the swimming pool. So there's some CuO, copper oxide. It's a special GANS we are testing actually. So I won't tell you more about this one right now because we are not sure and I don't want to teach something that is not good, or showing something. So I will tell you more if we are sure it works well. So the containers were fixed on the swimming pool, in the swimming pool at each corners and in the filtration system. Here it is the 17th of June. So you can see the difference with the 8th of June. The water seems better. It's not so much, there's not so much particles floating in the water. The pH is 8.3. Oh, I forgot to tell you, on this peak, pH was 7.7 and chlorus was minimum. On this peak, sorry, I'm lost. Oh, yeah. pH was, and we noticed the water uncomfortable, and you like to so much the salt. So in this one, it's the 27th of June. Water was not very, very clear, but we can see the bottom. And this is Fabienne, the owner, talking. She's saying, what is a surprise for me in comparison of the other years is that the water stay clear and it's very hot, temperature was 50 Celsius degrees and it's very, very hot. And I have not added salt. And I have had a few active oxygen, just to be sure, because I am not very trusting yet enough right now. And let's see the evolution of the quality of the water. So that was the 27th of June. And, oh, it's the same one. Okay, I have to share again because I can only share 9 pictures by 9. So I'm going to take the others. Please, if you have some questions, you can ask, I will answer. Or if you don't, I have inverted some pics. Well, anyway, we call it barbant. because the guy that is making these games is called Roland Le Barbonchon. And this this guy is working with swimming pool since year 2015, and he has a swimming pool, a covered swimming pool inside his house. And since 2015, he doesn't use any more chemical products, only against water. So he's crossing France and he's putting some games in the swimming pool, in the spa, and people are very happy. I call him and I ask him some advices, and so I will tell you more about it. So the Xbut is a beautiful water, pH 7.6 or 7.7. Before is a place you collect the salt, and completed with Gens water from his swimming pool. The Gens is made and washed with his swimming pool water, which is I don't know how to say in English. I will try to explain. It's for him. So he's using his water and he has tested this water with animals. So he knows this water is very.
Could you say that again? It's broken up. We couldn't hear you. You couldn't hear you clearly, Frederick. Could you just repeat that again?
Sorry, water from the. Okay, sorry. Okay, when did it stop?
You were talking about he's making his ganses and that he uses the pool, the water from the swimming pool to wash his ganses, and then what?
Okay, and because his water is for him is a reference, because she has been tested with a pendulum, and he knows the water has a very good vibratory toll. It has been tested with extra sensitive
You're still breaking up there.
Rainwater during a storm, and some water in the Jura. That is the reference. Him is coming from a lake in France and from a storm, the rain from a storm. And he has put many intentions in his swimming pool, and the vibratory toll is very good because it has been tested with some pendulum, and so it's sure about the reference. I am broken again, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you have better Wi-Fi or something you can connect to, or?
No, I don't have Wi-Fi. I live in a camper van, so I don't have Wi-Fi. It's my data. So I was telling, anyway, the water from his swimming pool is very special and it's very good. So he's using it. So we had these particular games in the swimming pool on the first the 18th of June, and the 1st of July, the water was very beautiful and very clear. And this is Fabienne's testimony. I didn't had any products, any salt, and it was very hot, 15 degrees, and water is still clear. She's waiting to see how much times will it longs before adding something. And she can see that the water is much clear and soft with the GANs, and she's very happy about it. So that was for the swimming pool from the light oasis, the oasis from the first tour. Next one, Allison swimming pool. I am still in the Zoom, or I am break?
It's good.
Oh, great. So this is Allison swimming pool. It is a normal swimming pool with normal water, without salt, and she's using chlorine to treat the water. The 23rd of June, I installed a CO2 ZNO-CU bottle in the filtration system. And at the opposite side of the swimming pool, I put Barbanchon GANs in the swimming pool. And the day after, Alison came and she said, "Oh, what did you do? My swimming pool is clearer than before." So I explained her, and I tell her that she can space the treatments, pour wait before the treatments to do it again, and try to wait the more time possible before treating it again. I explained her that most of the time, the swimming pools treated with GANs do not need any more chlorine. They only need a product for the algae, because we still have not found how to take off the algae. But now we can say that we are not needed to use any more chemical stuff. And I am waiting. Didn't receive today the information I was waiting about this swimming pool to present it. So maybe next time. And this one is Florence swimming pool. So the 10th of June, we put a bottle of CO2 ZNO-CU GANs in a swimming pool, a small one. It's for a child, So it's only 4 cubic meters, not so much. The swimming pool was just cleaned up and the water was changed. So it was very, very clear and very clean too. It's a swimming pool with salt, and usually she's treated with chlorine, except this year. The swimming pool was filled with a third part of rainwater, a third part of, there might be a mistake, two-thirds of water from the El Grifo. And when you open the thing in your home, you have some water. How do you call it? Don't remember.
From the faucet or
distilled water?
Yes. No, faucet. Yeah, from the town, And
tap water.
the water, tap water. Okay, thank you. There's a lot of calcium, in the water. It's very hard and like stone, white stone in the water. How do you call it? In the tubes, there's some stones when the water is very calcare.
Yeah, calcium.
Hard water, it's called sometimes.
Calcified.
Yeah, thank you. And they added 8 kilograms of salt. So the 7th of July, water is very clear. You can see it on the pic. It's very soft and comfortable. They do not often watch the electrolysis from the filter. Then that was a surprise for them, because usually they have to wash it more often. And there was some rain. The day after was some sun, and day after rain, and after sun, and the meteo was a mess, and very, very hot. And the swimming pool has stayed very clear and very clean, and they didn't had any chemical products. So that was a success too. And here they took the pH, so you can see the little sheet of paper, of pH paper. It was the only one she had, so she tried to do the test to show me, and you can see it's very dark green. So it was hard to say, but we guess the pH was high, like maybe 8.3 or something like this. And we are today the 8th of July, and no product, any product was added in the swimming pool since the 10th of June. So this is Mary's swimming pool. So the 28th of June, we took off the cover, the blanket of the winter, and we added some tap water to fill the swimming pool, because the level of the water was very low, and the water was green. There was some particles floating. There was some algae, and the robot at the bottom has I don't know, vacuum the particles, eat the algae and particles at the bottom. The bottom was cleaned anyway. So we had 2 small Gans bottles, Barbanchon Gans, in the swimming pool at the 2 opposite sides. And you can see the 7th of July. See how the water is beautiful. You see the difference? They only did a treatment for algae by organic one. It's the only thing they did, and they did it the 28th of June. And today, the water is blue. She said it was not very clear, but they didn't had any chlorine or chemical products, So that was a success too.
So the Gans didn't get rid of the algae?
No. It works only for the swimming pools that are covered. You don't need to have any product for the algae. The Gans is working. But for the swimming pools not covered, we have not found the solution yet. So I know Roland Le Barbanchon is working on a special Gans with some anti-algae organic products, and he's making a special Gans with it, and he's waiting to see the results. He will send me some if he have some good results. But actually, it's a good success, because people doesn't have to add any more chlorine or hard chemical stuff, and they just can add an anti-algae organic one. So we are happy. We are still making some research to have a better solution, but this is already a good solution. I will share some more pics. Alors, on en était là. Hop. This is the last one for this topic. So this is a tank under the soil, and the water smelled very, very bad, like if it was porous, and very dirty. And the color is dark, and there's a lot of particles. We can see the bottom. So the 7th of July, a bottle of Gans with CO2, ZNO, CuO was added. So next time I will show you the results. We are waiting to see.
And
that
again,
was the last.
when you say
Sorry.
it's added, a bottle was added, bottle of GANs added, you don't pour any of the GANs in. It's just the bottle floats on the surface. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
Exactly. Only with the fields. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Is this a bucket for like a horse or a cow or something?
No, it's under the soil, you know, and it is to water the garden. But she doesn't want to water her garden with this because it smells too bad, and so she's not using it. And this will be a good experimentation because if it works, it's good results, you know. And water is so dirty that she doesn't want to use it.
I have a question. Do you always use a glass bottle?
Not always, because, you know, in the swimming pool, there's some kids, and if they play with the glass, could not be sometimes a good idea.
Good point.
And yeah,
so to speak.
And it depends about what I found when I go in people's home, you know. And it depends about if there's some kids or not. And someone told me, because we were using some glass for the gardens. Culture. And
sorry, glass for the gardens, and then we lost you there.
And someone told me, yes, but it is fire, so could amplify of the sun and make a fire in the garden, you know, with
yes,
the
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you understand.
Especially
so
when
we
it's
found
very
the
hot.
solution under the soil. Yeah. So we are working, and I will show you next time in the next presentation. That's all for this presentation about the water purification. If you want, I have a testimony about some paint that has been taken off with GANs. I can show you, or I can let someone else talk. That's up to you. Questions? I don't know, sorry.
Yeah, let's open it up to questions first here. Does anybody have a question? We have a hand up, Jalal.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jalal.
Fred.
Yes, hello, Jalal.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thank you. And you?
Fine, thank you. This is very beautiful what you're saying. But I noticed one thing I didn't understand. Can you go back in the, not in the pictures, in the writing? You mentioned one gas. I didn't understand what kind of gas. Can you bring up the papers?
Yes, I don't know which one do you want. The one where we can see the containers?
I see the last of the word is COHN.
ZNO, copper oxide, and I don't want really to explain because we are not sure, and this is very an experimentation. I'm waiting to see if it works, I will present it to you. This one maybe.
No, more. Before the last covered the swimming pool.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah, this one. last sentence. No, this one.
Yeah.
Barbenchon.
This is the Barbenchon Gans. Maybe I was break, I think. I explained that Barbenchon Gans is a special Gans made by someone called Roland Le Barbenchon. And this guy is very a specialist here in France for the swimming pools and the spa. He has done a lot of experiment and is going across the France and plasmatify some swimming pools, some spa. And he has a special swimming pool. The water inside the swimming pool comes from a lake and from rain from a storm. And he's making his CO2 Gans with 10% salt of Guérande. Guérande is a town in France where you can collect some salt near the ocean. And in his Gans, he washed it with the water from his own swimming pool because he's sure he has good water, in his swimming pool. Gans bottle. Find all the swimming pools when I go to make an oasis somewhere. I can use these Gans for the swimming pools.
Okay, thank you. Now I understand. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Is there some more question?
I would just like to say that the active, what do you call it, the active oxygen that you mentioned, that I just looked that up. I always wondered what that was. I heard it mentioned before. It's hydrogen peroxide. It's commonly known as hydrogen peroxide. So that's interesting little point. So perhaps a combination of hydrogen peroxide and that might help interact with the Ganses. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2.
Yeah, and we are planning to make a Gans with this,
Okay.
And
Sorry, we're missing your conversation there. Can you try again?
And this swimming pool shall happen. I forgot to tell you. That was a small one. This swimming pool, something special happened. The container with the Gans water starts to smell chlorine. She opened it.
Were you sharing a picture?
Yes.
You have to reshare. You'll have to reshare.
Sorry, because I forgot to mention it on the documents. Oh, I was not able. Well, it's okay. I'll just explain. So the Florence, the owner of the swimming pool, opened the container with the Gans water, just for curiosity. Oh, well, she wanted to see what was inside. So she opened it, and there were a very, very hot smell of chlorine. And we think that the Gans container has absorbed all the chlorine from the swimming pool, because when they filled the swimming pool, they put some water from the tap. And I didn't put any chlorine in the container with the Gans, so we think the Gans has absorbed heat and maintained the heat inside of the container. Huh.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, chlorine will naturally evaporate out of water too.
Yeah, but we don't understand why these containers smell chlorine,
Was it a plastic container or a glass container?
I don't remember. No, I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, maybe we can see it on. Let me check on the pic.
Because plastic is porous to a certain extent. It will actually allow moisture to pass through, but glass doesn't tend to do that.
It was glass.
Even more unusual. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any liquid from this glass went out to the swimming pool?
Well, I didn't open it. Maybe the girl, you know, there's a little girl. Maybe she played with it, or I don't know. I don't think so. They didn't reported me this. Maybe I should ask.
Do you remember when one time I showed an experiment when you put one liquid, if you take, let's say, drop of this liquid in another container, it will absorb everything from the other container to itself. It will pull. So I think what's happened here is the same what will happen with me. That small amount from the container went out in the swimming pool, and in this way, when the container gives to the small parts, it receives from it also. When it's received from it, it will receive also amount of what is in the swimming pool. Exchanging the fields between.
Okay, this is very helpful. Thank you, Jalal.
Thank you, Fred.
Fred, may I just ask you a quick question? The chlorine, am I understanding that the chlorine, it was not in the swimming pool, and you added a Gans bottle, and which was glass, and after that you smelt chlorine? Is that how I understand it? Is that correct?
The chlorine was in the city water that they put into the pool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only a small amount though, yeah?
Yeah, because most cities have chlorine in their city water.
Yeah. In France, it's too much. You smell, you know.
And you had a really strong smell of chlorine?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Thank you.
And then you added the active oxygen to that one as well, right? And
no, this one has not product, only some salt.
Okay. And what kind of salt? Like sea salt type salt or other salts?
Oh, they didn't tell me. I guess it is salt for the swimming pools, you know.
Yeah, some kind of special calcium salt or something. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe I could ask them.
Maybe this one called calcium hypochlorite, because they are using it for the swimming pools salt.
Yeah. So
but that has chlorine in it too.
Yeah.
I will try for the next presentation and to collect more data, you know, because I'm not used to collect the data. I'm just doing the things with my intentions and my love. And I am not a scientist, and I never collect the data. So
yeah, that's the tough part. And that's exactly what I wanted to bring up, which is it becomes more and more important to collect all the details and have it in a sort of a chart. Because this one with the swimming pools is quite important, because there's number one, there's a lot of people that have swimming pools if the climate gets warmer and warmer, there's going to be more people that need to have the swimming pools just to cool down. And it becomes more important to have a process to keep them clean, because the hotter it gets, the worse the algae and so on can build up very quickly. So if we had a database of all the details of these pools, and you've shown us what 3 or 4 different ones here, and other ones that the other fellow is doing, and if we multiply that all around the world, we would have a good database on different processes that can be used to avoid the use of the high chlorine products, or the way people normally treat their pool water, and it can be quite toxic essentially. So if we have these natural processes and use more and more of the natural products to try to facilitate it, like for example, the algae is a great example. You're doing some experiments with that. It's been suggested maybe that copper GANs could be used as a way to deal with that. So there's probably many ways. The thing is, if we have a database and if we approach it more scientifically, or if you know someone that really likes to, they love to crunch the numbers, they love to get in there and have all the details and set up a true database and put the information in. If we can, if someone like Frederic can access that person that's totally dedicated to the world of numbers, and this would be a perfect, what do you call it, sort of a pilot project to notate this information specifically about pools. And then once we pool that data, so to speak, then we have that information. It'll become obvious that certain techniques tend to work well to remove algae, or to clarify the, to make it more clear, and so on and so forth. And then perhaps we can leapfrog that into decontamination and pollution cleanup for lakes, for rivers, and the ocean, and the whole thing. So the information here could become very important in a bigger project later, let's say. But swimming pools are a great way to, like even a kid's pool, like you brought up there, a smaller pool, it's a contained situation. And if people are used to it over a few years, they know what to expect. And if they get positive results, they go, wow, this is different. What's different here? That little bottle sitting in the end of my pool is making this, that's amazing. I want to know more about this, and so on. So I think it's a great project. And I know you may not like to crunch the numbers, Frederic, and many of us are that way. But you probably know someone in your circle that would love to get into a project like that. And then once the numbers are arranged in some sort of logical format in a database or whatever, then that can all become part of a great plasma scientific journal entry, and it will have the data, and it can be published in the Plasma Times, and then it can be added onto as well. It's not like a stagnant document. Once that Plasma Scientific Journal entry gets made, then it can be added. People can add their experiences and put that into the database and keep this going and grow it. So that's what I'm suggesting. It'd be nice to see it as a Plasma Scientific Journal entry, as many of our testimonials should be ultimately. So think about that, and maybe someone will pop up or volunteer to put all the data together for you there.
Okay, I will do my best, and if someone wants to help, you are very welcome.
Okay, are there any other questions, or shall we carry on to the next part here? You have some more to present, correct, Frederick?
Yes, I have one more topic if you want. It's very short, only 4 pictures.
Okay, I say let's go for that. If there's no one that wants to, is there any other questions in our chats here? I'm just having a look.
I will share my screen, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, it was not allowed. Maybe I was too fast. It could not start. Please try again.
You should be able to.
Are you trying to share or trying to start your video?
I'm trying to share some pictures, not the video.
Okay, it should work, shouldn't it, Flint?
Yeah.
It's saying that the screen sharing did not start up. Try again.
You didn't pay your fee.
Ran out at midnight.
Try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I think now you can.
It could not start. Please try again. This is the message I had.
Leave meeting and come back. It'll work.
Okay. I'll be back.
Frederick Schwarzenegger. She will be back.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that's what the Terminator said, but I thought it wasn't appropriate somehow. Thank you, Jalal, for reading my thoughts and being on the same thought train as me.
It's the same though.
Crazy.
Okay, you there, Frederic?
Watch your window, Flint.
Take off the pain with Gans.
Okay, could you repeat that, please?
I don't know how the correct sentence, but it's about how to take off pain with Gans.
Yeah, usually remove pain or relieve pain.
Oh, yes, this is the good word. Relieve pain with Gans. So I will talk to you about this girl. Well, it's not a girl, it's a woman, you know. Her name is Jane. She is 16 years old, and she has been at the hospital because she had herniated. So she wants to be operated, and they made a mistake. So due to the mistake, she was grafted with a titanium material that maintains, you can see it on the pic on the right side. Her spine is at the center of the material, you can see in full, you know, she has these things in her body, in her back. So it was very, very painful. And doctor gave her some morphine. You understand the word morphine?
Yeah, that would be morphine is what it be called, the painkiller. Yeah.
Morphine? Sorry. Yeah. And this is a very strong medicine, you know, and well, she would like, she wanted not to take this medicine. This was not good for her, and she was upset and saying, I don't want to take this, but it is so painful. So what was our case? It's we have to take off the pain, but to relieve the pain, but we have to take care about not because if you repair the body, the tissues, the body will reject the material, and this is not a good idea. So to relieve the pain, but not to repair the body with the ganses. So we decided to make 2 pain pads. So Jen can use it the sole in your socks when you have a rest, and keep it for the whole nap. Or take it off. CO2 and sedano with a small amount of gains, of material gains, and I had gum for the GANS water for Jellify, you know, it becomes a jelly, like a jelly. And the lithotam powder, do you understand this word? It's an algae. It's an algae who contains a lot of calcium. Lithotam. I have looked the word in Google Translation before coming, and I have listened to repeat it in the good ways. Lithotam. It's an algae who contains a lot of calcium, and I used some nettle. Nettle is a plant you can find in the countries. Here in France, you have a lot everywhere, and it contains calcium too. So I used this mix of xanthan gum to make the jelly, and nettle, lithotam, CO2 ZNO. I used the blender to mix it, and I put this jelly in the 2 different soles, and I have put a different quantity in the different soles. In one, I have put more than in the second one, because I wanted to make a difference, different potential, you know, different between the 2 soles. Okay. I gave the pads to Jane the 11th of July, and the 11th of June, and today we are the 8th of July. Jane has no more pain, and she doesn't take any more morphine. So she's happy because the pain has gone and she's not needed to take the morphine. So I think it was a good result, and I wanted to show you that we can do something, you know, even for the people that have some titanium materials or graft or oh, sorry, my cat is making a mess. And we can help those people that are with the pain, with the ganses, and that's pretty cool. That's all. Do you have some questions, or did you understand me? I am break and nobody can hear me, isn't it?
No,
Half of it. We understand half of it.
Oh, you understand an half of it.
Yeah.
I have to make some progress with my English then.
No, but because you was breaking out. That's all.
Oh, okay. So Jen is a woman. She has she had herniated disc. Went to the hospital and they made a mistake. They broke everything, so they have to put this material in her back, and this was very, very painful, you know. And they gave her some morphine for the pain, but Jane doesn't want to take the morphine, and she's suffering. It hurts, you know. So I make some salts for her with some CO2 GANs, ZNO GANs, a special algae called lipofam, and some nettle. I mix all this. It becomes a jelly with the xanthan gum, and I put this jelly in the salts. I gave her the salts, and I told her, please wear this when you take a nap or when you have a rest, so it will take off the pain. But the difficulty was to take off the pain, to relieve my cat again, to relieve the pain, but not to repair the body, because if the body is repaired, it could reject the graft. So
Yes.
that was, you know, and it works well. Because today she has no more pain and she doesn't take any more morphine.
Beautiful.
Do you have some questions?
You said you use CO2 and zinc.
Yeah, because we.
And you use this one algae with the content of calcium. What is the fourth one?
The name?
Metal. What? There's metal you used?
No, I didn't use any metal. I used some plants, you know. One is called Nettle, and the other is an algae from the ocean called lipofam.
Okay.
And both of them contains calcium, and the Nettle is it's a very beautiful plant. It has a lot of properties, and it's very good for the body. And governments wants to forbidden this plant because it's very strong and very helpful, you know. But that's another subject.
And this is a weed, a plant or something?
Nettle, yeah, nettles.
Yeah,
With an
nettle. That's right.
Nettle or catnip or there's
Yes.
various kinds of
Do you
nettles.
have some in your country?
Oh yeah, it's very
Definitely. Yeah, we
it's
have a lot
popular
on the
here in
west
America.
coast of Canada for sure.
Oh,
People collect it.
It is very useful.
Can you show it, Rick or Flint?
Sure, we could pull up a picture.
And what's the name of the algae?
Lipofam. You want me to look for internet and show you on the web?
Only if it's it has to be from Wikipedia or somewhere that's not an image that is
Yes, I know.
I'll pull it up here just a second.
Okay.
If you want to find the other one there, Flint, I'll put up the nettle. Sometimes called stinging nettle.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a big hint.
When you touch it, it hurts, you know. It's
exactly. But once you dry it, then it doesn't hurt you anymore. That's the way I understand it.
Okay.
You use the dried nettle.
Yes.
So it looks like this.
It have a lot of needles, small needles.
Yes, exactly. A little on the sides of the stem and so on. They act like hypodermic needles. Yeah. So it's a source for traditional medicine, food, tea, and textile raw material in ancient societies. Has a long history of use, it says. If we look at the medicinal use, the herb has been used in the traditional Austrian medicine internally as a tea or fresh leaves to treat disorders of the kidneys and urinary tract, gastrointestinal tract, locomotor system, skin, cardiovascular system, hemorrhage, influenza, rheumatism, and gout. In Old English, nettle is one of the 9 plants invoked in the pagan Anglo-Saxon 9 herbs charm, recorded in the 10th century. Oh, this is funny.
Maybe you could look up the LJ2. I can't find it quite yet.
Okay. Urtication, or flogging with nettles. Flogging with nettles is the process of deliberately applying stinging metals to the skin in order to provoke inflammation. An agent thus used is known as a rubificant, something that causes redness. It's done as a folk remedy for treatment of rheumatism. Huh. All right, well, there we go. It's been useful in many places and many ways. And there's a lot of fatty acids in nettle. And you would think gans of nettle would be a very useful substance. And I bet there would be lots of amino acids come out of it as well.
In France, we use it for the plants, If a plant has is not feeling well because there's some insects or fungal attack, we use this plant to treat the other plant.
Mm-hmm. Huh. All right, well, that's something to think about, that it's got so many attributes that surely the gans of nettle would be a useful product. They even make beer out of nettle, strangely enough. It says it's originally native to Europe, but much of temperate Asia and Western North Africa is now found worldwide, including New Zealand and North America. Okay, and the other substance, let me see if I can.
I will write it in the chat so you can find it easily. Okay. It's done.
All right, we have a Wikipedia on that one. What? They don't have a picture? Oh, it's all in French as well. Let me see if I can.
If you want, I can.
An English one. I can translate it, but there's.
Just change the URL to English up there. Go back.
Oh,
You go back to that article.
on the Wikipedia.
Change the first two letters to EN.
Doesn't have it.
Well, search for that word here in English then.
It's
Right
different.
there, the second one.
Second one. This?
Yeah.
This red algae. That's not the same.
No. Okay. Well, that's the wrong
let's
word. Look
try-
up
yeah.
the word there that's in the
Yeah.
chat that we put.
Yeah, it's actually probably spelled differently.
Lithotamine.
Does not exist. I think it's. I think the M is out. Try that.
Here's the right.
Nope.
Here's the article here. I'm getting it. Yeah.
Lithotame. AME. That's what it is. No, it's M. Give me it. Lithotame. That's what it's called in this French herbal place, lithotame. And it says it doesn't exist, so not quite clear what to think about all that. But I do a search in lithotame without the N.
Yeah, that's correct. Lithotamine. It's a red algae, rich in minerals and nutrients, especially calcium. Participates in the neutralization of acidic glands and the mineralization of the body. So it's a supplement
Okay,
you
so
can take.
maybe
They turn
that's
it into
what
a
it is.
supplement.
So it actually looks white, like a white powder, even though it's a red algae. So maybe that's it. They take
Well,
the
and I'm looking at
calcium out of it.
TAMNE, THAMNE,
THAMNE.
AMN. There you go.
Same picture. Yeah. It's just that it's from somewhere we're not supposed to be showing, and so I'm trying to find Wikipedia on it.
I know.
Wikiphyto, is it? It's probably something that we can show. It's a wiki. And they don't show any pictures either. The pictures must be all proprietary for this or something.
Do you want me to translate the wiki?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can put up, if we went into the French wiki, where was it? I had it earlier.
This one was good. It was saying that the algae was small and red.
I think it was this one. And I can translate this to English. Make it a bit bigger so people can see easier. Yes, it says, well, is this the same thing? Lithothamion. I think that's the same one. Or Poematolithon calcareum is a species of red algae of the family of Apidaliaceae and subfamily of producing calcareous concretions. Grows mainly in the North Atlantic and is also present in the North Sea, the English Channel, and the Mediterranean. Off the UK, is the main constituent of marl. There's a basket of marl. And the marl is the medium or habitat with an accumulation of algae rich in limestone. So this would be part of the apparently similar to coral. Has a lot of carbonates. It's heavily calcified. What else? Lots of trace minerals and vitamins and amino acids. Oh, there we go. It's used as a dietary supplement and medicine to neutralize the stomach acid and as remineralizing. It is used in the manufacture of certain vegetable milks to provide them with a high content of calcium. And it's also used in agriculture as a natural soil amendment. So that makes sense. All right, well, now we know what that is. Any more questions or comments on that lithotame? Mark mentions that Mr. Kesh had mentioned in a teaching about nettles, I think. Any idea when that was, Mark? Okay, if you want to take the screen back there, Flint. Or Frederick, is that it for you, Frederick, or was there more you wanted to add?
No, that was all. Thank you for listening. If you have some questions, maybe I can try to answer.
Well, thank you very much for all of your presentations here. We have Dean with his hand up. Let's see what he has to say.
This is just a aside on stinging nettle. Can I be heard?
Yes, you're clear.
Okay, fabulous.
What happened to Dean? Oh, I'm not able to hear you right now, Dean. Are you going ahead?
Okay, let me see.
Okay, now we hear you.
Now you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, fabulous. Anyway, in order to eat it without getting stung when it's raw right off the plant, is you take it from the bottom, you squeeze it, and then you can like roll it up and it crushes the little hypodermics and you can eat it then without getting stung. So if you find a good patch, you can eat it in the wild, it'll sustain you. Anyway, if Back to the viewer. That's all I had to say.
Well, that's kind of interesting. You roll it up so it's crushes the little needles on it, and then you can eat it. I did read that they use it for fodder for animals, but they usually dry it first. The animals don't like to eat it when it's with the fresh needles on it. And once it's dried, they love it, just like hay. All right, well, let's move along here. What else do we have lined up? Someone want to come forward with a testimonial for today?
I don't have anything else new here on this end, but maybe our Romanian friends have something for this month.
Hi, everybody. I'm done. I personally, I don't have anything for showing, only my jellyfish. But no, for a moment, I don't have anything. I don't know to other colleagues if we have something. I asked Adrian, but I not promise anything. I try to ask.
Thank you, Dan. And also, we have a message that Hadil wanted to present something. Hadil, did you want to present?
Adil, tu veux présenter?
Frederick, you cut off there. I think you were asking Hadil.
Présenter quelque chose? Yes, I was translating. Adil, tu veux présenter quelque chose?
Tu m'entends là?
Chose?
Tu m'entends?
Oui, faiblement, mais oui.
Ok. Oui, je veux bien présenter quelque chose. J'ai deux choses à présenter.
He has two topics.
Go ahead.
Okay. And you can translate, Frederick. Is that okay with you now?
Yes, sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Je vais partager l'écran.
He's going to share screen.
C'est Frédéric, tu vois?
Yes.
Ok. Donc alors, je voudrais vous présenter mon expérience avec cette patate douce.
Adil is going to present you his experimentation with these sweet potatoes.
Alors, je l'ai fait pousser dans l'eau de CO2 salée.
He make it grow in CO2 water gans with some salt.
Voilà, donc là, c'est peut-être une semaine après l'avoir mis dans l'eau.
1 week after put it in the water.
Et on voit qu'il y a déjà des pousses qui commencent à sortir.
We can see some small roots.
Voilà. Alors là, c'est 3 mois après.
3 months after.
Toujours dans l'eau plasma de CO2.
Still in the CO2 plasma water gans.
Et j'ai rajouté de l'eau au fur et à mesure parce que l'eau s'évapore.
He added some water because the water is evaporated.
Mais ce qui est intéressant, c'est que la patate n'a pas pourri
What is interesting is that the sweet potatoes has not perished
Et que l'eau restait claire.
and the water stays clear.
Alors. Donc là, j'ai décidé.
T'as été coupé, Adil, j'ai pas entendu. T'as décidé de la planter, c'est
Ah,
ça?
voilà, j'ai décidé de la planter.
Et he decided to plant it.
Voilà. Et quand je l'ai plantée, je lui ai proposé quelque chose.
And when he did so, he proposed, he asked the plant something.
Alors, je lui ai proposé de pousser dans le pot et que ça serait sa retraite.
He proposed the plant to grow in this pot, and that will be, comment on dit une retraite? A retreat, like a refuge, a refugee.
Voilà, qu'on n'allait pas manger les autres patates qui allaient pousser.
And that they were not going to eat the other potatoes that will grow up.
Et qu'à partir de maintenant, elle faisait partie de la famille.
And now she's part of the family.
Donc, elle a poussé.
So she grew up.
Voilà. Et la dernière photo, celle-là. Voilà, donc elle est très contente de vivre avec nous.
He said that the plant is very happy to live with them.
Voilà, est-ce qu'il y a des questions?
Is there some questions?
Bonjour Adil. La salinité, sorry. What percentage of salt using in CO2?
Je veux savoir le pourcentage de sel que tu as utilisé dans ton CO2.
C'est quelque chose d'élevé parce que quand je fabrique mes gants, je sature de sel.
He said it's very elevated because when he's making some GANs, he saturated the water, saturated with salt. Yeah.
Alors, environ 20 à 30% de sel.
Almost 20-30% of salt.
Okay, thank you, Adil. Because I know the potatoes, it's absorb the salt.
Il dit qu'il sait que les patates
J'ai pas entendu la fin.
absorbent le sel. Enfin, il dit que les patates absorbent le sel.
D'accord.
C'est de créer la mélange. Sorry. C'est de.
Sorry, go ahead.
I am sorry, I forget not in French, in English. When you prepare the meeting, no, you in the kitchen. If you put in more salt in the water when it's boiling, you taking one piece of potato and absorb the salinity. It's like
Alors,
a
il dit
sponge.
que quand tu fais la cuisine, que tu fais bouillir de l'eau et que tu veux absorber le sel que tu as mis, tu mets un bout de patate dedans, si j'ai bien compris.
D'accord.
Et ça fait comme une éponge, ça absorbe le sel en fait.
D'accord.
So to be clear, the GANS water that you showed at first was like 20% salt, something like that. It was not diluted. It was not flushed with any water.
Donc, pour être clair, l'eau de ganse que tu as utilisée et que tu as montrée auparavant ou laver. Adil,
Oui, j'ai
t'as
pas tout
entendu?
entendu. Non.
Ah. Il a dit donc, pour être clair, l'eau de ganse que tu as montrée au début, elle était avec 20% de sel et tu ne l'avais pas lavée ou diluée.
Non. Mais par contre, là, quand j'ai mis l'eau pour la patate douce, j'ai mis de l'eau distillée et j'ai rajouté quelques gouttes d'eau plasma, mais avec des particules de ganse.
When he put the water, he used distilled water and he added some Gans water, only some drops, and he added some Gans particles too.
Ah, I see. Okay, thank you. And then when he added water later, would that be tap water or distilled water or Gans water that got added to top it up?
Et quand tu as ajouté de l'eau plus tard, est-ce que c'était de l'eau du robinet, de l'eau distillée ou de l'eau de Gans?
Non, après, c'était de l'eau du robinet où je rajoutais toujours quelques gouttes, environ 3 gouttes à chaque fois d'eau plasma, plus un peu de ganse.
Okay. Each time he added some tap water and he had a few drops of Gans water and a few Gans matter.
The salinity is not high, it's diluted.
Right, yeah. I understand now. I thought it was 20% salt, and I thought, wow, how
Donc
does
il
the
dit que la
plant not
salinité.
survive? So
Sorry.
thank you.
Il dit que la salinité n'est pas si importante puisqu'à chaque fois tu as rajouté de l'eau du robinet, donc ça l'a dilué. Et ça avait surpris Rick parce qu'il se disait que c'était qu'il arrivait à survivre dans autant de sel, c'était bizarre.
Ah oui, d'accord. Je me suis mal exprimé au départ.
I have a question for Hadil.
Oui.
Yes, go on.
I like very much what you said about your attention to the plants, that you will not eat it.
Il aime vraiment beaucoup ce que tu as dit à propos de ton attention à la plante, comme quoi tu n'allais pas la manger.
And it's really put a smile on my face.
Et ça lui a vraiment mis un sourire sur le visage.
Okay. Can you please do another experiment with the same liquid, the same water, the same gases?
Est-ce que tu peux, s'il te plaît, faire une autre expérience avec la même eau, le même sel, le même ganse,
But with the attention that you're gonna eat what it's produced.
Oh no, that's not nice.
Now, look, we are trying to manifest our attention. We want to the public to see the intention in that. So this is for experiment. So he will be received.
I will translate. Il a dit, est-ce que tu peux refaire donc cette expérience, mais cette fois tu vas dire à la patate que tu vas la manger. Alors moi je lui ai dit, mais c'est pas gentil. Et il a dit oui, mais c'est pour montrer au public l'intention, le pouvoir de ça.
D'accord. Est-ce que...
Sorry, Hadil. We are trying to testimonials for the public that our peace attention, it's work.
Et donc c'est pour montrer en témoignage au public que notre intention de paix fonctionne.
D'accord. Je vais le faire, mais j'ai pas de patate douce, donc je le ferai avec une patate normale.
He said he will do it, but he has no more sweet potatoes, so he will just use a potato.
Thank you.
Perhaps this potato is giving, I don't know, from 1 to 100, no 100, 15 for feeding, because your intention is pure, it's pacified.
And the other question would be, what are you going to do? Doesn't the potato make little potatoes in the pot? And so you'll have a pot full of
Je crois qu'il a dit
potatoes,
que
basically?
Ah, ok. Il a dit qu'il avait un pot plein de patates parce que comme tu lui as donné une belle intention à la plante, elle a beaucoup produit.
Ouais.
And if you don't eat them, that means you have to plant them, and you're going to have more and more potatoes all over your house. So what are you going to do about that now that you've created this little potato maker?
Alors il a dit, mais qu'est-ce que tu vas faire maintenant? Parce que si tu les manges pas, il va y en avoir de plus en plus maintenant que tu as fait cette fabrique à patates. Et donc il va falloir que tu les plantes.
Oui, je vais les planter dans le jardin après.
Yes, he will plant it in the garden.
Okay, and would that be for food in the garden, or just for decoration, or for companionship, let's say?
Alors il demande si c'est tu vas les planter dans le jardin pour les manger, pour la nourriture ou pour la décoration.
En fait, c'est pour qu'elle vive sa vie de patate. Donc, je vais pas la toucher, ça sera comme un frère.
He won't touch it. It's like a brother and he wants the potatoes to live his potatoes life.
Okay, but let me tell you something, Hadil. This is from the teaching of Mr. Cash.
Alors laisse-moi te dire quelque chose, Adil. C'est de l'enseignement de Monsieur Kesh.
I think this potatoes, with this feeling, she will love to be part of your energy.
Alors il pense que cette patate avec ce sentiment, va aimer être partie de ton énergie.
Exactly, yes.
Oui. Alors, il y a aussi le fait que je lui parle tous les jours. Et,
He's talking with her each day.
voilà, je lui dis bonjour et puis je lui parle un peu. Je la mets au soleil, tout ça.
He says hello, he talks with her and he puts her outside to take the sun.
After all, you gave her life, and maybe she would like to give you life in return.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that she has to die, but she can give some of her, not offspring, but some of her offerings, let's say.
Il dit, oh, wait, please, I forgot. Il dit que comme tu mentionnes de l'amour, si elle veut t'en donner en retour et que peut-être elle aimerait aussi te donner de la nourriture, par exemple.
Ouais, mais c'est pas l'intention dans laquelle je l'ai planté.
It is not the intention he had when he planted the potatoes.
Yes, right. But
Then
that
it's
was
not the
for
deed.
her. Did he think ahead of the next generations? Because when the little potatoes are planted in the garden and they become plants, and then their little potatoes are planted,
Okay.
pretty soon there's potatoes everywhere, but nobody can eat them.
Il a dit oui, mais le marché, c'était avec la plante de départ. Et comme tu vas la planter et qu'elle va faire des petits qui vont faire des petits, qui vont faire des petits, et tu vas te retrouver avec plein de patates si personne ne les mange.
Bah, comme c'est à l'origine de la création. Et puis, nous, on va se nourrir de gans bientôt, d'énergie. Donc, on pourra la laisser tranquille.
He said, at the origin of the creation, it was like this. And now we are going to feed us with some ganses, and we could let the plants quiet and quiet.
Bravo.
You are feeding with the field 80% with fields of potatoes and leaving this 20% for material living in peace.
Il dit que tu te nourris de toute façon avec 80% des champs de la patate et que tu laisses les 20% restants aux champs d'énergie.
Oui, c'est vrai. Ouais. Alors, Mais j'ai autre chose à présenter, si c'est bon pour la patate, s'il n'y a plus de questions.
If there's no more questions for the potato, it will present something else.
Thank you very much.
Avec plaisir.
You're welcome.
Alors, ça, c'est le compteur de ma voiture.
So this is the car.
Voilà, je l'ai plus, cette voiture, mais c'est une photo il y a 2 ans en arrière.
He doesn't have this car anymore, but it is 2 years before.
Alors, là, on peut voir le nombre de kilomètres que j'ai fait.
Here you can see the number of kilometers he has done.
Et là, c'est la réserve d'essence.
And this is the tank fuel, and you can see how much left in the tank.
Alors, le plein, alors c'est une voiture essence.
It is essence.
Ouais, c'est pas diesel.
Yes, not diesel, the other one. How do you call it?
Gasoline?
Yeah, thank you. Gasoline.
Alors, le plein, normalement, il fait 500 km.
With when the tank is full, you can do 500 kilometers.
Et là, on peut voir qu'on est déjà à 500 et il nous reste la moitié du plein.
And here you can see there is almost 500 kilometers, but you can see on the tank there's an half. An half of the tank is full.
Ok. Donc maintenant, je vais vous expliquer la puissance de l'intention.
Now he's going to explain you the power of the intention.
Alors, quand j'ai mis le plein,
when he filled the tank,
donc je tenais le pistolet pour remplir le plein d'essence et avec l'autre main, je tenais le tuyau.
he was holding the staff to put in the tank, you know, to fill it. And with the other hand, he was holding the plastic tube that is attached to the thing you put in the tank. I'm sorry, I don't know the names.
J'ai décidé que c'était pas de l'essence que j'allais mettre dans la voiture, mais de l'amour liquide.
And decided he was not going to put some gasoline in the tank, but only liquid love.
Et donc, voilà le résultat. Ça veut dire que j'ai doublé la capacité du plein.
So you can see the result here. He has doubled the capacity of the tank.
Voilà. Mais en réalité, j'ai fait 850 km à peu près.
In reality, he has done 850 kilometers.
Voilà. S'il y a des questions.
Is there some questions?
There's no Gantz involved, just pure intention.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
No Gantzes involved, only just pure intention.
Yeah. Pas de gants impliqués, juste de la pure intention.
Oui, c'est ça.
Yes, that's it.
What type of engine does this car have?
Demande quel type de moteur a cette voiture.
C'est un moteur essence, je crois qu'il fait 1,2 litre, je crois.
1 liter, 1.2 liters and the gasoline motor.
Voilà. Est-ce que j'ai le droit de dire le nom de la voiture ou pas?
He's asking if he's allowed to say the name of the car.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with that.
Oui, il n'y a pas de problème avec ça.
Alors, c'est une Chevrolet AVO.
It is a Chevrolet AVO.
Voilà. Année 2010, je crois bien.
Year 2010.
Thank you.
Says the engine is light code.
Il y a une question, Fred?
More questions?
So this is the power of attention.
What is Bola?
I said, so this
c'est
is
le
the power
pouvoir.
of the attention, of love.
Alors, je n'ai pas compris le mot, mais je crois qu'il dit que c'est le pouvoir de l'intention, de l'amour.
Oui, à mon niveau. Mais je sais qu'on peut aller plus loin, mais là où j'en suis, c'est ce que je peux faire.
Yes, for Adil, it is where he is now. It is what he can do, but he knows we can go further now. He can only do this.
So if the tank was empty and you filled it up with gasoline, but as you're filling, you're imagining that it's 100% liquid love, you could get 2,000 kilometers per tank.
Sound is very low. I think he said that. Si
Oh,
le
sorry about
réservoir...
that.
Ah, yes, great.
Yeah, I said that if the tank was empty and he filled up the tank completely with gas, but envisioning or intentioning that all of it was liquid love, then you could get 2,000 kilometers per tank.
If it was gas and not gasoline?
Well, yeah, you're putting gas in the tank, but your intention is to change it energetically when you're putting it in with your intentions, right?
Il dit que si c'était un réservoir de gaz, tu aurais pu faire 2000 km avec en le changeant avec ton intention et ton amour. Et en imaginant de mettre de l'amour liquide.
D'accord. Merci.
Yeah, so thank you.
So that's yes?
CS?
No. He mentioned that when he filled up the tank, he was putting, instead of gas, liquid love.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Il veut des précisions sur qu'est-ce que ça veut dire de mettre de l'amour liquide.
Alors, ça veut dire que quand j'ai mis le plein, je me suis concentré sur des émotions positives et sur...
Attends. It means that when he filled the tank, he focused on positive emotions. Oui.
Et l'amour en général, l'amour qu'on peut avoir entre humains, entre plantes, l'amour pour la création.
And love we can have between humans with the plant or the creation.
Okay, thank you.
Je crois que ça va un peu loin, non?
Non,
alors, si c'est bon pour ça, j'ai un autre truc à présenter, si c'est possible, hein, s'il y a du temps.
If there's some times, if it is possible, he will present a third topic.
Go ahead.
Vas-y, on voit.
D'accord. Voilà. Voilà. Alors, vu que là, c'est l'été, il y a beaucoup de moustiques, ou en tout cas où j'habite.
So it is summer and it is full of mosquitoes.
Donc là, je me suis fait piquer par un moustique.
So he went bite by a mosquito.
Et je l'ai traité avec des acides aminés de ganse de CO2.
He treated the bite with some amino acids from CO2 gans.
Alors, j'ai mis le CO2 et les acides aminés sur le coton.
He put the CO2 gans and the amino acids on the pad, cotton pad.
Voilà. Là, je l'ai scotché sur le bouton.
He attached it to his arm.
Alors, très peu de temps après, ça démangeait plus.
Few time after, he didn't scratch anymore.
Et 1 heure après, c'était parti.
And 1 hour after, there's nothing more.
Là, on voit encore le scotch sur le bras. Là.
This is the tape you can see on the arm.
Voilà, c'était une petite astuce pratique.
That's all. It was just a tip or trick, an easy tip.
Yeah, normally we don't put the ganses directly on the skin though, which would be the case with that pad. So the pad should be inside of a plastic container of some sort to keep the strong fields directly off the skin. That's the way I understand it.
Alors, il dit que normalement, on met pas le gans directement sur la peau et qu'on le met dans un plastique pour pas le mettre directement sur la peau. Mais c'était peut-être de l'eau de gans, ça dit, non?
Non, il y avait des particules dedans. Mais oui, je m'excuse. Mais c'est vrai que moi, j'expérimente beaucoup.
Okay, he says he's sorry, but he's experimenting on himself. And he says he's sorry to show this.
Yeah, we have to be careful with that. Although, you know, there's probably it's not going to do any harm, but it's not something that's recommended generally on the medical side to just put some on a piece of cloth or to put the gans directly on the skin.
Okay.
So,
please wait, I forgot the translation. I lost some. Donc, il dit que c'est pas recommandé. Hein, bon, sûrement, ça fera pas de mal, mais qu'en tout cas, c'est pas recommandé et qu'il vaut mieux ne pas le mettre directement sur la peau.
perhaps we can get more feedback on that too. Maybe there's someone else has another opinion. That's just what I thought.
Il aimerait bien avoir
d'autres
retours à ce sujet, peut-être.
J'ai pas entendu la fin, Fred.
Donc, il dit qu'il demande s'il y a d'autres retours à ce sujet et qu'il aimerait bien avoir d'autres opinions. Et quelqu'un est intervenu, je crois que c'est Marc, pour demander si tu mettais de l'eau liquide ou de la matière.
En fait, j'ai mis les deux. J'ai mis de l'eau plasma et j'ai mis des acides aminés.
He put some GANS water and he put some amino acids, Mark.
Just water or with the GANS?
Il demande si c'est juste de l'eau ou avec du GANS.
Non, c'est avec les deux.
Both.
Okay.
And what were you saying about that, Jalal?
No, he should if he put some ganses, he must put it in the plastic bag.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize your voice, Jalal. Donc Jalal, il dit que s'il y a du GANS, tu dois mettre sous un plastique, c'est mieux.
D'accord, merci.
Thank you. It's very beautiful testimony.
Il dit merci, très beau témoignage.
Avec plaisir.
You're welcome.
Donc voilà, j'ai fini.
That's done.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Hadley.
It's funny because I had a little black fly bite last night, actually. And that's the first thing I did, is put some Gans water on it, and bingo, it was, it didn't hurt after about a minute. And usually they go on for quite a long time where I have to keep scratching, and it could even go for a day or two sometimes with these things. But the Gans water does seem to help. And then also, if you have a big one, the patches would be a great way to do it with the so-called Gans patch, usually in the plastic environment. Okay. Anybody else have any input on that? Questions or?
If you, Rick, if you put your bottles of ganses in, let's say, in a jar, and you take the fields of this ganses, and you use this water, it will be more efficient than the liquid gans.
All
Liquid
right,
water
that's a
gans.
good point. Mm-hmm.
It will take minutes, not hours.
And how long would the water have to be in that environment to pick up the fields, do you think?
It takes not more than 1 hour, but normally, if when I do it, I leave it all the time. Only I adding water and take water from it, like a plastic bottle or something, and I surround the gases around it, and I take this water only. It's full of fields, and it's very beautiful. And your body will take what he needs from it.
Okay, good hint. Thank you, Jalal.
Thank you, Rick. Don't forget the last teaching of Mr. Cash. More weaker you become, more you receive. If you are using the gas and the liquid water of the gas, it's not weak like the fields in the water. And now we know that we are extracting the stronger fields from the environment. So more weaker you go, more result you have.
Hey,
Weaker
Jalal,
is stronger. Go ahead.
how is your amaryllis plant there, Jalal?
Sorry, Flint. Today, Flint, you are very faint.
How is your amaryllis plant?
It's not. It's went down and now it's growing again. It's marvelous. It's a giant.
Is it taller than you are?
Maybe I can bring it here to show you. Let me see if I can.
Is it walking yet?
And talking?
She is dancing, guys, huh? She is dancing. So let me go. Okay, I have it here. Let me put the place for it. Rick or Flint, can you put me in the panel list that I can share?
Oh, yeah, sir.
You see, this one, the old one, died and came out again in the same time. But this one also died. Now there is a new, but it's very big, very heavy, that I have to hang it here, because you see the leaves, it is very, very heavy.
Yeah, and you don't want them to kink over.
It's King Kong.
Wow.
And this just start to grow up. So I think it's only 10 days or less than that. And she's growing remarkably. I put a stand for it, but I think even this one will not hold.
Wow. So we'll watch it grow over the next months here, and probably get back up to
Yeah.
as a 2 meter tall blossom.
I think will be more from what I see. Is Gianni here?
Last I saw, yes.
Is he here or not? This one I brought last time to the teaching, but he wasn't there.
He was earlier, but not now.
Okay. So for those who know about Gianni and his experiments, he's putting CO2s in the tires, and he's going quite very remarkable, more mileage. And he's using normally a syringe to put the CO2 in the tires. So I found this device, which it can you can fill whatever you want, and then you close it, and only just you put it to the lighter, and you press it in the tire without empty the air from the tire, because in his method you need to empty the whole pressure in the tire. With this kind of device, you don't need. It's very, very quick.
So you can't take the syringe and needle and just jab it in the side of your tire?
Yeah, you can try.
Well, it looks like a pretty interesting device. What's that called?
What's it called? This is with the new cars. They do not have a spare tire. You know, they have a special liquid. When you have a flat tire or something, you just put it in.
Did you get that off eBay or Amazon or something, or what?
No. This one, some of my friends give it to me because he also actually he throw it because he do not use it again because this liquid you need to buy I think the whole device together. So I took it and cleaned it up and I used it. Put CO2 here or whatever you want of gas you want to deal with.
So is that like half a liter?
This one, yeah, I think.
Half liter. So you put the whole half liter in one tire?
No. It's what you like to put. How much you want to put? This is 450 milli. So I don't think you will put 450 milli. It's we are speaking about 50 and less than 50. Small amount only. I think Gianni he used 100 milli. If Dan here he maybe he remember, or Ursula, they remember how much Gianni put.
Gianni was here earlier, but I don't see him here now.
So that's my testimonial.
That's really interesting, Jalal. How you explained it then when you lay on top of that your earlier teaching of the weaker receiving larger, yes, and then was contemplating the amount that's gone in to the tire. See the correlation link?
Yes. But I think here, Dimitri, with the tire, I don't know, because when the plants or your body is alive and it's, you know, there's something alive in it. But in the tire, maybe you need a little bit more. I don't know. I didn't experiment that actually. I'm just going to do it. So I don't know. This need to be explored.
Definitely. That's interesting what you said then, you know. Does it need more because there's not life in it? I mean, it's all field strength. So if maybe, how can I put it?
But
I'm gonna get back to you on this.
But they will be dynamic something because it's rotating. So it will be dynamic.
That's right. That's what I was going to just bring up. It'll be dynamic, and it's actually a rotating donut, which is commonly called a toroid. So it's in a toroidal structure, and you've got the GANs in there coating the walls of the structure. So it's got some interesting possibilities, to say the least.
So how is
we also have to look at some of the things. How does GANs, what happens to it after a year or two of being in a tire? Does it affect the rubber of the tire and that kind of thing? So, but there are flat-proof substances that are put in tires similar to the device that we see here with Jalal. And I was looking at some of them the other day because I had a tire that was leaking actually, and they have little containers that are pressurized with the goop in it, and you can squirt it directly into the tire without having to deflate the tire as we were talking about, and other ones that you have to totally deflate the tire before you put it in, similar to the way Gianni was doing it with the syringe and so on. But the GANS material, especially if it's a little bit sort of thick, you might say, but still able to be thin and run around the tire, it could have some interesting possibilities because it could actually help to balance the tire. But if it's not done correctly, it could put an imbalance on the tire. So it kind of depends on the exact mixture, perhaps, and how much goes in. That would be a good experiment to run, I think. And there you are, Joel, right on the ground floor of that one, so to speak.
Yeah, no problem. I have 5 cars. I can do all experiment in them. So,
All right, great.
I already put one of them CO2 in the gasoline tank, so I don't have problem with that. So, any question? No question. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Okay,
Joel.
thanks. Thank you, Joel.
1 car for each day of the week. Wow. Lamborghini, Porsche, Maserati.
No. I am working only with Ferraris.
Ferraris. Oh, okay.
All right, what else do we have lined up here? Does anybody have something they would like to present? I've got a picture that's just come in on the hotline here, so maybe we could have a look at that. It's from, let me just get it shared. Okay, this is from Stephen Drysdale, just sent me it on my email. And I'll see, I don't know how directly related it is, but we'll just go through and have a quick look here. So what it is an iron nail. You could see in the first picture there. You can make it bigger. So we see the iron nail has built up sort of a crust on it, a crystalline crust of, well, presumably oxides, iron oxides. Now, he's shown a picture of what the setup is here. There's a caustic nano coat liquid, he calls it, on the bottom of the jar, of the bottle. Now, and it's a 2-liter plastic bottle. So it's got plasma caustic gas in it. And what he's noticed, it seems to have created a fruit on the rusty iron nano coated rod. And balls of fluid are growing on the stems of the iron rod, and little balls that form on the top of these rods. Some of them are reddish in color, some of them are clear and transparent. And he's likening it to like a tree. Now we can see on this first picture, for example, right there, there's a little globe, and we can see the red sort of nodules and various other places here. I guess another one there. And so we'll see what the results of this experiment is, and these, whether there'll be more fruits that will grow, or what will the iron tree look like. So it's not directly related to any of the other experiments, but it just shows the coating due to caustic on an iron rod, and definitely seems to have a crystal, iron oxide crystal sort of network built up there. It could have some interesting repercussions, perhaps. Any questions on that?
You don't know if that's liquid or crystal collecting on that globule.
Yeah, it does look like liquid. But if it's reddish, you see one there that looks more reddish, and he had the diagram. I don't know, I didn't mention really whether the balls are liquid, just liquid, or are actually forming a solid transparent ball or solid sort of red ball. It could be that the liquid is actually where the stems start to form, and the liquid might be sort of like condensation, but it's also the environment where the crystal grows. Well, we'll stay tuned for part 2 of this, perhaps in the next testimonials, and he'll send me more updates on that. Growing crystals is kind of a whole other ball game.
It'd be interesting to know if there are other Ganses in close vicinity within the environment. Is anything else interacting on quite a heavy level compared to just universal fields?
Knowing him, there'll be a mixture of fields of various Ganses, likely. But he's probably listening. He can reply to that next time around. Okay, that's all I've got on that. Anybody else have anything they would like to share?
I'm done again. I speak with Adrian and Johnny, and saying from next time. President Adrian want to talk about plasmatize and energizing, how to say, cup and connection with GANs. Is not achieve all the testimonials, but perhaps next month can present.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And connection. Good morning for and connection with hydrogen, Dan.
Yes, I'm sorry. And with hydrogen, hydrogenate the waters.
Okay.
If you want.
Așteptăm în acest moment testimoniale de la cei care folosesc acest principiu. Nu le-am primit pe toate, aveam și pentru această seară. Spune, Dan.
I'm waiting. I don't receive all the testimonial from this guy who utilize this device, and it's tonight. I can't speaking, but it maybe better next time.
Este mai bine să așteptăm data viitoare pentru ca să avem cât mai multe testimoniale și cât mai multe rezultate strânse de la cei care folosesc acest dispozitiv la ora actuală. Mulțumesc.
It's Adrian saying the same thing. It's better achieve all the testimonials from result of this device for next time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Rick, if you want, Adil can share a testimonial with a tank with some CO2 gas water inside.
Sure, yeah.
Adil, si tu veux partager ton témoignage avec ton réservoir aux gaz de CO2,
Oui.
là.
Oui, alors en fait, c'est rapide, hein. J'ai mis de l'eau plasma et du gaz de CO2.
You put some gas water and some gas of CO2 in the tank.
Et j'ai mis 17 millilitres dans le réservoir.
17 millimeters in the tank.
Et j'ai réussi à faire environ 900 km.
You reached to do 900 kilometers.
Voilà, donc j'ai fait de l'autoroute avec les fenêtres ouvertes et la voiture chargée, en fait tout pour consommer, mais j'ai réussi à faire une belle économie.
C'était la voiture de 500 km, le réservoir?
C'est la même voiture, oui.
Ouais.
C'est ça.
It is the same car he showed you a few time ago, and he went on the highway with the windows opened, and the car was EV loaded, and he did 900 kilometers. And that was a lot because the car was supposed to do only 500 kilometers.
Oui, j'avais des bouteilles de gaz dans le coffre.
He had some bottle of gas in the back of the car.
Alors j'avais du CO2, du
CO2, ZNO,
du CuO et du CH3.
CuO, and CH3.
Dans des bocaux séparés.
In separate tanks or bottles.
Voilà, là j'ai pas la photo, mais je vais essayer de la retrouver. Je vous montrerai ça.
He doesn't know where's the picture. He will find it and show it to you on another presentation.
Merci.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have anything else lined up? Does anyone have something to bring forward? Well,
yeah, if not, we can do closing here. That's pretty good deal. 40% increase in mileage.
Yeah, if you could document that more, that would be interesting.
Any updates from the testimonial site?
Not really, no. It's just the one from last time, and we don't have a lot of new testimonials coming in. So people, some of them are being made into plasma scientific journal entries, and when people have something that's roughly ready for the plasma scientific journal, they can get help putting it together in the plasma scientific journal format by sending into the appropriate place in the support Keshe Foundation support site. There's a place for the plasma scientific journal to send in, and you can establish communication that way, and the folks at the other end will help out to make it into the format for the plasma scientific journal if you're not familiar with that. But otherwise, no, that's all I've got for now that I can think of. So perhaps we could end for today. Oh, we have John with his hand up here.
Hello there, yeah. I just wanted to add, because Flint mentioned it was 40%, that would be 80% betterment in the consuming of the
Sorry.
car.
Yeah.
And another technical issue, we're working in the Spanish course, and I could hear Jalal and Rick on the background. There's some, apparently on the foundation central place, there's some mixing in the audio mixes up a bit. It was funny experiment sort of thing. I didn't have this on. Right now you can hear the talking in the Spanish because I got it on the other computer, but this wasn't on. I hadn't you were on the other computer, but I could hear you very faintly in the background.
John, you didn't know we are connected, me and Rick?
We're already connecting each other with a creator.
Yes, of course.
With what Mr. Keshe told us today, that's fantastic.
We'll probably all start hearing voices in the background soon.
Yeah, that's what he's...
That'll be the chore to sort out which voices are which.
Yeah. Well, excuse my intermission.
Okay, well, thank you, John. Okay, Flint, I think we can wrap it up for today. If there's no other things to bring up or those who wish to discuss.
Okay, you can take her out.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us in the 32nd public testimonial meeting, part of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education and the public teachings in English or other languages that come up. Thanks everyone for presenting today, and some interesting things. And we like it when people participate, so maybe think about preparing your own testimonial for the next meeting, which will be, are we going to have one in August, or is that canceled, Flint, due to vacation time?
Well, the public teachings all go forward throughout the break, except the one P1N1R, isn't that correct?
Yes.
As far as I know. So it'd be August 12th.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so we look forward to...
Rick? By the way, have you seen the floods you're having there in Washington and New York today?
No.
3 to 4 inches in 1 hour. The cars are floating along.
Yeah, that's a major storm front that's been passing over central United States. There's other towns in North Dakota, South Dakota that got 8 inches in 1 day. So it's been traveling across the whole upper Midwest there. Finally, is over on the East Coast now.
Yep, there's big earthquake action happening as well, as everyone knows, and the waves are spreading through the U.S. as well. Well, we can expect more of the same, probably. There's always something exciting on planet Earth to go wrong. But so far, so good. And we wish everyone the best. And catch you next time around for, we've got the one in, that's the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace happening on Tuesday.
Yep, tomorrow at 4 p.m.
4 p.m. Central European time. So that's our next show.
Rick, Flint, and Danny, and everyone, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jalal, as well. Nice to hear our minds. I hear our minds when you speak.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And we'll all be back next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, over and out.
Hello. We are the Kesh Foundation. Our mission is to bring peace on earth and join humanity with the universal community. We wish and work to bring man as equal to all beings in the universe. By teaching plasma science and technology equally to everyone, no one is left out and no one is abused due to lack of knowledge. By donating to us, you can help achieve this goal. keshfoundation.org/donate.
Plasma products found at keshfoundation.org/store. Soothing, reusable plasma eye and migraine mask. Eliminate eye fatigue and relieve stress in eye area. European certified medical device. Massaging plasma insoles. Bring comfort back to your feet and energize your legs. European CE certified medical device. Antiseptic plasma liquid hand soap. Promotes well-being and relaxation with protective plasma formula. CE certified. One Soul Plasma T-shirt. GAN's formula within the symbols and stripes brings mind, soul, and body into balance. European certified. Pain Relief Pen. Emits a concentrated plasma field at point of pain, efficient up to 3 centimeters below the skin. CE certified. The Magrav's Energizer and Alkalizer raises pH and energizes water through magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Pain Relief Pad, a result of years of research in nanoplasma technology with magnetic and gravitational fields. CE certified medical device. Visit the online store at keshfoundation.org/store or find a distributor near you. Tax and shipping not included.